Jacob. How are you coming to this fight differently? How are you coming to this fight differently prior to the other fights after knowing that this is the second biggest fight of your career?
Well, I just think it's first knowing and understanding and realizing that this is the biggest fight of my career and taking the proper precautions. So coming out here is one of those steps. My mental focus is another step. And just doing little things, implementing little things that give me that edge. I want to be victorious, and not only victorious, I want to look good doing it. I want to give the fans a great show, so I know I have to be in extreme condition.
Are you looking at any Triple G footage?
Of course. I'm not one of those guys who don't like to study. I think it's kind of crazy that guys take pride in not studying their opponents, but I'm one to study. I study habits, and we capitalize on this thing.
Which one of the flaws you see in Triple G?
There's a handful of flaws.
Did you get one specific?
His defense. He's there to get hit. Even though he's monstrous offensively, his defense doesn't add up. And if I can be my best at my defense and be on my A game as well with my offense, then it's going to be a long night.
Are you going to do anything different this fight prior to all your other fights that you have?
We have yet to see. I don't know what will go down inside the fight. The true champions make adjustments if need be, but I know we have a game plan that we're going to try to implement. And if we need to go to a game, plan B or plan C, we will be prepared for that as well.
Now, you made some additions to your camp this time. Chris Algieri this go-around, Virgil Hunter. Why this fight and why right now these new additions?
Well, first off, I want to take my hat off to you, brother, for not only just being neutral, but being what a reporter is supposed to be, right? Not being biased, not putting your own personal opinions in there, and just respecting the sport. So hats off to you, brother. What was your question again?
You made some additions to your camp, Chris Algieri being one of them, Virgil Hunter's assistants. So what do you think about, or what made it right now the time for those additions?
I just think it was just meant to be. I've always known Chris to be a great guy, and I've always known him to really know his nutrition. And when I see his Instagram and his Facebook and stuff like that, I'm like, I just
start getting hungry.
Yeah, this guy is amazing. But I never thought about him being inside my camp, and it just so happened to be that he was available for this time. He's just like, man, everything is kind of coming together. He's willing to come out here. And train with me and help me with my nutrition. And, my nutrition can be on point, as it's always kind of been, but he's on a whole nother level. I mean, he knows his stuff, and not only that, he's a world-class athlete. He's been at this level before as a professional boxer, so the mental gain that you get from this is, through the roof as well.
Definitely. And there's a lot of criticism about the Dimitri Perot loss, but people don't factor in that you beat cancer after that point and things like that. So in your mind, what does that loss mean to you, and how did you bounce back from that?
I think the proof is in the pudding. I haven't lost a fight since. Look extremely better throughout my fights. And aside from the emotional part that I was going through with all the stuff that was outside of the ring with my family, my grandmother passing away, aside from all of that, I was 21, 22 years old. I mean, I was still a young man, I was a kid. I'm a full-fledged man now. I know how to crack. I got that experience. And I've seen the game. You grow in this sport. If I was to remain the same kid that I was then, I wouldn't be here at this level now. So, I think that speaks volumes, and I think people are going to always look for something to criticize. And the easiest thing to criticize is the loss that I took in the Perot. But, I know the sport of boxing, you're going to have to prove yourself. Mayweather gets scrutinized through his whole entire career. It's like, what else do he have to prove? But people still criticize him. So who am I to say that I'm subjected to that?